Hey there guys, what is happening? My name is Sumedh Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy, and I'm a flow state coach, which means I help you feel better and perform better. Today we're going to be speaking about how to have the $1 million mouthpiece, how to speak forever, how to not hold your tongue and just keep on talking, pulling concepts out of thin air. So before we begin this concept, if you want to learn more techniques on how to do this, I would definitely check out the link in my bio. It's a course, it's called Verbal Vinyasa. This is basically what this is teaching you to do in full depth. Now there's more than 8 hours of content in there, okay? So basically, you really want solid advice on how to get the $1 million mouthpiece. That is the best place to go. I've kind of gathered all my information about it and put it in that one program, and it's on Udemy and it's very cheap, so go check it out now. Having said that, I want to give you guys some techniques on how to have a $1 million mouthpiece, how to talk non-stop. So the first thing you got to notice is stop giving yourself so many filters when you're speaking. You probably have a filter in your mind. I'm not supposed to say this thing around these types of people, or I'm supposed to be very quiet in this environment, or I wasn't told to speak up as a child, and so I'm not speaking up at all at this function that people are talking in. So all of these misconception and construed ideas on when you're supposed to speak, when you're supposed to be quiet, they're going to mess you up, okay? Now, I'm not saying don't have any filters at all, but I want you to almost think of it as replacing it with much healthier filters. Maybe the filters that you have right now aren't even allowing you to open up and speak and be vulnerable ever. But if you can come from your sense of truth and find a way to find the gravitational pull of your truth and speak from that inner truth in that place, it's just a lot easier. Like these videos, not a lot of them are planned. A lot of them are very improvised, right? I'm speaking to you from the stuff that is already in my subconscious mind, and they're just flowing out of me. This is why in certain videos I repeat different concepts that I've thought about even before, even without thinking like, oh, did I say this in another video? I will just say it because it's there. It's in the storage unit. So the other thing you need to do is just consume a lot more useful information. Now, there's a difference between consumption and education. What I really want you to focus on is education. You can consume a book in one day, just skim through it. That's not helping you much, is it? I mean, it might be if you keep reading that same book every day. After a while, that might just sink in. You don't want to be so extreme here that you completely remove all filters, but at the same time, you want to remove the unhelpful filters that are there. The way that I differentiate this kind of radical honesty with brutal honesty is that radical honesty is coming from that place of your own truth and your ownership of your truth. The second one is a piling on. Brutal honesty is just all of the pent-up emotions that are just like a volcano. They're dormant, they're waiting to erupt, and it's like, blah! Here you go. Here's the stuff that I was carrying from so many years. Here you go. Okay, so you're literally, you've been suppressing the things that needed to be processed, but you've been suppressing it for so long, it comes out as brutal honesty. And it comes out in a very strange way, right? It becomes abrupt, it becomes awkward, it's out of the blue. Instead, this is why you want to have a catch and release method. What I mean by this is you don't want to let go of all of your baggage, all of your pressure at once. You can do this if you are in the woods in the middle of nowhere. Scream it out, punch the soil, let it out. But in society, people might look at you strange. And that's okay. Like sometimes people looking at you strange, that's totally fine, right? Attack your shame. Don't really care about that fear of judgment too much, I would say. Definitely try and get over that factor. However, if you can catch and release all the little things that are holding you back, notice them within you and work on healing those parts individually, it's going to help you tremendously with your throat chakra, right? This is the place which gets clogged a lot of times from our childhood issues or traumas. Like if a teacher told you to shut up when you were like 12 years old, maybe you're still holding that tension there. right? It could be. However, it's so important to recognize that. Don't speak to strangers. Don't speak up at the dinner table. Don't say that in that particular tone. Keep yourself down. Keep yourself quiet. All these things are going to limit you from actually having that $1 million mouthpiece and say what needs to be said. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, being a super talkative, over-expressive, giving everybody everything, being completely blatantly, brutally honest all the time, that's not a nice person to be around, right? You want to have some refinement, some sophistication, some elaboration in the system of communication that you're bringing to people. If you're just giving people this kind of anxious ramblings of yourself, it's not that attractive. It's not that magnetic. It's not that influential. And it's not that impactful.
If you're like, oh my god, the other day, my friend Sally, she had this thing, and then this happened, and oh my god, you won't believe this girl, she did so many things.
It's like, whoa. If I'm not used to that energy, and you're speaking to someone with that fast, rampant energy, it's not going to mix. It's like water and oil, okay? So if somebody's speaking to you super fast and super rapid, and you're kind of chill, laid back kind of person, you'll be looking at that like, whoa, get me away from here. What is going on right now? What are you saying? That was so fast. Can you please slow down? Like, that's what you're thinking. But as a person who's more laid back, maybe you won't say what needs to be said. Like, could you please slow down, right? So you just keep taking it and you keep taking it. This is another art form of communication I'm teaching you in this video. However, what you want to really do is you want to come from a little bit above their level. So even if you have to pretend, you want to go at their speed. And then you can bring them down. You want to lead them in that. And if you see someone just being super chill, like they're like, oh yeah, great, right? That's their pacing. What you want to do in that case is you want to go even like super chill, even below that. So if they're like, yeah, just speak to them like that. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, I know. And if they go, you go, yeah, tell me about it. You see, that's that empathy. That's that empathy that we're credit. I think empathy is such an important tool in communication.
Hey, what's going on, buddy?
My girlfriend left me, and I lost my job. What are you doing, man?
And when we can come from that and connect with the person at their universe, at their planet might be fast-paced. If you can enter their planet, hey, I'm one of the civilians in your planet. If you can come from them, then you can sort of slow it down according to the pace that you guys want to talk in. But if they're speaking super fast and you're super slow, there's a miscalibration, okay? So again, this is about talking forever. Like, how can you talk forever? You got to be in the flow state, right? You've got to be in the flow state. And the thing is, I have so many techniques on how you can do this, but the primary one that I would tell you is word association and practicing word association. Practicing the art of word association in your free time. This is how you word associate. Dog, bone, chicken, feathers, bird, box, Schrodinger's cat, okay? Like, I'm just giving you an example, but basically, whatever comes up to you first when you think of that word, just keep doing that. And what this will do, it will make you a lot more spontaneous and a lot more quick-witted. So when people are talking in a conversation, you can think of, oh yeah, what does that make me think of? What does that make me think of? And then you can chime in to the conversation with your own interpretation. And sometimes it's important to just repeat things back to people, because people love that, okay? So repeat things back to people. And that will give you maybe a different idea because they might repeat themselves in a different way. See what I'm saying? So when you think of, oh man, I don't know what to say, just repeat back to them what they're saying. So,
hey, did you check out that video that I sent you like a month ago?
The video you sent me? Question mark.
Yeah, the video of the guy, like he had the window and then the thing.
Now you see the person is giving you back information, new data points. So then you can say, no, I haven't seen that. But do you know what I have seen is like this other video about this other guy who had a window And what that, now you see what I'm saying? They've been giving you information. Now they've given you new data points, and you can take the little data points that they told you. You can take the little data points that they've told you, and you can add your own dimension to it. Does that make sense? Words have a certain sensory experience. Certain words will make us feel closed up. Like, oh, this is torture. Oh, this is killing me. And certain words will make us feel much more light. Like, oh, I feel like blooming today. I feel expansive. These words make us feel a lot more lighter, give us a lot more liberation and freedom with our speech. So instead, we've got to trust in the feeling of our vocabulary. If we're really mad and we choose very angry words, it might spike us into even more madness or anger and rage. But if we have a vocabulary that is changing our default mode network in our brains, that's where we go when we daydream, or when we go when there's nothing's happening, when you're bored. So in the moments of boredom and the moments of peace, you want to go to positive imagery and coming back and following the fear, following the words, following the emotion of the words, following the anger, following the bliss, following the joy of the words. Once you can just keep on going with that, that will give you a momentum and push towards what you want to say next. And when you have that push, it can be an incredible way to unlock this. Once you've unlocked this, it's just a lot more natural. You feel like you're your authentic self. You don't have to put on any kind of mask or facade, or, am I going to do this or this? What did this person think of me? Are they going to judge me? All these thoughts aren't helpful to you. How can we take and train ourselves so that those initial thoughts become a lot more powerful and empowering thoughts? And that's the real practice of word alchemy. So I hope this video helps you out today. I have many more techniques to do this, but again, check out Verbal Vinyasa. I mean, that's the course to really do it, to kick this off. But yeah, have an amazing day. May the flow be with you. Stay legendary.